Tonight, global mourning.
The normalization of Jew hatred in our society inevitably leads to Jews being murdered.
Reaction from London's Jewish community after a Hanukkah massacre in Australia. Plus, weighing the options in Ingersoll.
They tell us, oh, you'll never have to find another job. You'll be here till you retire. And then bam, we're done.
Cammy assembly workers stuck in uncertainty. And a helping hand.
You see your kids have opening presents, and your worst day will become the happiest day you could ever have.
The Holiday Haul, putting presents under the tree for local families.
CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with grief and outrage in Australia after what local authorities are calling an anti-Semitic terror attack. Police say 2 shooters targeted a Hanukkah celebration, killing 15 people. With the latest, here's Scott Hurst.
A devastating tragedy. A father and son accused of killing 15 people from as young as 10 to 87 years old. The target was a Jewish holiday celebration at a popular Australian beach where hundreds had gathered to celebrate the beginning of Hanukkah. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese called it an act of anti-Semitic terrorism. 15 people were killed. The dead included a 10-year-old girl, a rabbi, and a Holocaust survivor. Dozens of others were injured, some seriously. Liberal MP Anthony Housefather shared his thoughts as reaction from the Jewish community at home and around the world continues to come in.
Like most Jewish Canadians, I wish I could say I was shocked, but I'm not shocked. I'm horrified, I'm devastated, I'm angry. But I think that Jews across the world have seen public shootings in the United States in both DC and Colorado. We saw what happened at the synagogue in Manchester. And we know that, unfortunately, to be Jewish is to be a target in far greater numbers than the general population.
The suspects have been identified as a 50-year-old father who was killed during the attack and his 24-year-old son. He was wounded and is currently in hospital, reportedly in a coma. The Australian government on Monday, a day after the shooting, proposed tougher new gun laws amid criticism that officials aren't taking seriously enough a string of anti-Semitic attacks in that country. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
Meanwhile, here in London, the police chief says there will be extra patrols visible at Jewish events throughout the week. With more on the shock among members of the local Jewish community, here's Brian Bicknell.
A police cruiser is parked outside the Jewish Community Centre in London. It's become an all-too-common sight each time a high-profile act of anti-Semitism occurs around the world, according to Dean Lavey, Executive Director of Jewish London.
The rise in anti-Semitism, the normalization of Jew hatred in our society inevitably leads to Jews being murdered.
London's Jewish community is devastated as Hanukkah events take place across the community in wake of Sunday's deadly attack in Australia. Lavey says it comes at a time when people of Jewish faith are already feeling targeted.
This has been a very hard 2 years for the Jewish community. We see in London and across the country that anti-Semitism has shot up dramatically. In London, the police reporting, the hate reporting data just came out, and it shows that Jews in London are 35 times more likely to suffer a hate incident than the average Londoner.
Police Chief Ty Trong issuing a statement on social media saying our hearts go out to those impacted by the senseless violence. LPS continues to work with provincial, national, and international law enforcement partners to monitor events.
Intelligence guides us on how we're going to deploy and positions us, helps us position how we're going to respond from a reactive model to a proactive model. You will see more police officers visibly present in the Jewish community and in places of worship and at events throughout the city.
In the meantime, Rabbi Mendel Gurkow says it's important to continue celebrating Hanukkah, especially in light of the tragedy.
The message of Hanukkah, the menorah standing right behind me, every night throughout Hanukkah we light another candle, increasing in light. And the menorah specifically lit after dark. Because the message of Hanukkah is that a little bit of light goes a long way in illuminating darkness.
Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
Workers at the Cammy assembly plant in Ingersoll are learning about their options this week in the face of an uncertain employment future. Their choices include leaving GM, retiring, or holding out until a new product is announced. As Sean Irvin reports, many are leaning toward that latter option.
GM Cammy workers file in and out of the Unifor Local 88 Union Hall in Ingersoll. Inside, they learn more about their options amid the plant's shutdown. GM announced in the fall it would end production of the Bright Drop electric delivery van. The company has stated it remains committed to Canada, but there are no signs a new product in Ingersoll is on the horizon. Meanwhile, more than 1,100 people are out of work. Among them are many couples who rely on multiple GM paychecks.
My wife works there as well, so it was kind of a double hit when we got the news that we were going to be shutting down. So it made it a bit anxious for us, our household.
But Paul Harvey, a father of 4, is staying positive while cutting back. He has 21 years of service.
Well, it's definitely different. You know, we got to watch what we spend, make smart decisions.
It's a tough choice for Ken and Luana Paradine. They met on the line at Cammy and have been married for 15 years.
Back in 2005, they tell us, oh, you'll never have to find another job. You'll be here until you retire. And then bam, we're done.
While Luana concedes she needs to work, Ken has a choice to make. With 35 years in, retirement is on the table.
My plan was to go to 65 and all that. And, well, with all this stuff going on, that plan is now kind of gone.
Gone for those further down the seniority list is the comfort of a regular paycheck. It's why most told us they will likely take the 6 months of pay offered and wait until GM decides Cammy's future. Tammy Rowlandson did not want to comment on her husband's selection, but for her, it's an obvious one.
It's hard to find a job out there now that even comes close to paying what we get. So it's really no decision.
Now, the deadline for many of the choices on the table here is January 7th. That will lead to anxiety for some over the holiday season. And into 2026 as budgets tighten amid the waiting game.
Can we do it? Yeah. Is it going to be tight? Absolutely. But we've done it before. We did it through COVID, so we'll do it again.
In Ingersoll, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
A water main broke over the weekend, washing away part of Highbury Avenue in the city's north end and interrupting service for nearby residents. As Jerry Dewan reports, there have been delays in getting things repaired thanks to the weather.
This was the scene on Highbury Ave just south of Carlyle around 6 Saturday morning.
Our crews were out on site by 6 o'clock to assess it, with the full crew mobilized by 7 a.m. to begin the repair. So they started shutting down water around 6 a.m. We did have about 75 customers affected.
That included the Earls Court Village long-term care facility, which brought in drinking water for residents.
This is a 400 millimeter diameter water main, so fairly large. It feeds a good chunk of the city.
Water service was restored Saturday evening. Ramalou says deep cold and the age of the water main likely combined to cause the break. The main was installed in 1949.
At that end of the city, there wasn't a lot out there in 1949, but it would have been supplying some of those areas further out.
The weather helped create this mess, and the weather is complicating the repairs. It seems constant snowfalls are not very helpful when it comes to paving operations. The original timeline for reopening was Tuesday, but the heavy snow changed that.
The weather hasn't exactly cooperated for paving, but we do have a contractor on site working on that restoration work, so that will be hopefully finished paving through tomorrow and have the road open for Wednesday.
Ramalou says if we continue to get cold snaps, we could get a higher number of water main breaks.
A lot of it is weather dependent. 2024, for example, so last winter we had a milder winter. We had about 62 water main breaks across the city, and that's about normal. We have had years that were extremely cold, and we had closer to 100 or more water main breaks.
Ramalou says this serves as an important reminder that drivers should be wary when water is pooled up on the roadway. One driver tried to continue through, got stuck, and had to be towed out. Another vehicle was caught when the road collapsed under them as the earth continued to erode from beneath the pavement. Jerry Dewan, CTV News.
Good evening. We've been dealing with some bitterly cold temperatures today. Right now, we're sitting at our high, which is just -8. Mount Forest is at -10 and Goderich at -5. Now, wind chills across the area into the minus teens. The Middlesex London Health Unit has issued a cold weather alert for tonight as wind chills are expected to drop between about -19 and -22. So cold conditions holding overnight and first thing tomorrow morning. We still have some snow coming off Georgian Bay in and around the Parry Sound area, but things quieting down. We could still see a little lake effect snow in through parts of Bruce County tonight. Now, the main snow squalls easing off. The winds out of the southwest. Winds have been gusting close to about 40 kilometers per hour out of the London airport. By midnight, we're down to -14 and the winds ease off. Temperatures are headed up tomorrow, and we have rain in the extended forecast, not snowfall. I'll take you through that coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks very much, Julie. St. Thomas police say they need help finding an armed robbery suspect. They've released these images of a man they say entered a Talbot Street variety store early this morning. They say he tried to assault a worker and then fled the scene. According to police, he was wearing a black coat, black toque, and red mittens while wearing a red bandana to cover his face. Provincial police say someone crashed into a horse and buggy, sending 4 people to hospital yesterday near Kitchener. Perth County OPP released this image, saying the crash happened Sunday around 4:30 p.m. Police say the person driving the pickup truck hit the horse and buggy, sending all 4 people in the buggy to hospital with serious injuries, one of whom was airlifted to a trauma center for life-threatening injuries. Police say the driver who hit the buggy was not injured. No information on the fate of the horse has been released. London police say they arrested a teenager at Clark Road Secondary School this morning after a weapons call. According to police, officers were called around 10 a.m. for reports of a boy with a gun. Police say the suspect was arrested at a nearby plaza and a replica gun was seized.
A lot of these replica firearms look identical to real firearms. Now, while there was no immediate risk to public safety in this particular incident, we can say that situations like this are quite scary for not only the individuals involved, but all of their family members, community members.
Police in Aylmer say they've charged a man accused of assaulting a baby multiple times. They have not released his name, only saying he knew the baby and he's been released from custody facing assault and suffocation charges. London police are sharing just how prevalent intimate partner violence is in our community, responding to thousands of calls each year. With more on the numbers and the reaction from agencies supporting victims of that violence, here's Brent Lale.
Here in London, on average, we receive 19 calls per day with respect to intimate partner violence. You're averaging between 5 and 6 arrests.
In a report to London's SPPC committee, Chief Tai Trong detailed how prevalent IPV is in the Forest City. They receive close to 7,000 calls a year. And while those numbers may seem shocking, they are not to Megan Walker.
It's really indicative of just how widespread this problem is.
Walker, a nationally recognized women's advocate, is happy to hear that women are reaching out.
I think Chief Trung has made that measure accessible for women and girls so that they do feel they can reach out to police. A lot of police services across this country don't have that.
Chief Trung said that 80% of calls to his officers do not result in an arrest. They are working on new initiatives for those instances.
When we respond and there's no arrest made or no police intervention, that we're not just turning our backs and letting those families and those victims, potential victims, strive or thrive on their own.
Walker, who worked alongside the chief on the London Police Services Board, calls him a compassionate man.
He has taken a strong position in favor of helping abused and trafficked women and all of these women that go through a terrible situation every single day. And the nice thing about it is he's got the power to actually change things.
In the multi-year budget, LPS will now have officers to staff their domestic violence unit 24 hours per day. He spoke to committee the same day the Government of Canada introduced the Protecting Victims Act.
As far as I can remember back, we've been advocating that femicide be in the Criminal Code of Canada. Once this legislation is passed, Femicide will be considered a first-degree murder offense in those situations where it would qualify, and that is unheard of. I'm very inspired by Minister Fraser. I think what he's proposed is more than I expected and certainly is needed. I really want to have a society, where women and girls are free, and that doesn't exist right now.
Brent Leo, CTV News.
London police say they've charged a massage therapist with sexually assaulting a client. Police say it happened at a business on Wellington Road. They say the woman had a scheduled appointment with a male massage therapist. According to police, 29-year-old Connor Rice assaulted the woman during the massage and exposed himself. They're also asking anyone else who may have had a similar experience with Rice to contact them. A dangerous offender hearing began today in London for a man with a lengthy criminal record. Crown lawyers are pushing for 46-year-old Raymond Ramsey to be deemed a dangerous offender, meaning his time in prison would have no set end date. He has a criminal record dating back more than 25 years, most recently convicted for aggravated and sexual assault. The hearing is expected to last 10 days. Hundreds of families benefited from the annual Salvation Army Christmas Assistance Program this weekend. With more on the items available and the community support that made it all possible, here's Lauren Stallone.
The Christmas season brings lots of joy, but for many families, the financial pressure is unimaginable.
I personally could do without my own food. I'd rather have them have their Christmas.
One man who wished to remain anonymous says he's relied on the Salvation Army's Christmas Assistance Program for 6 years.
It's the point where you have a choice, either pay food or pay rent or have Christmas.
The program helps families in need by providing toys and gifts for children.
On Friday, we saw almost 500 households, and today we're expecting 600. And overall, we're expecting to give out toys to about 5,500 kids this year.
Parents get to choose from a variety of donated items to gift their kids, including board games, books, and crafts.
On top of this year's donations, the Salvation Army also received 20,000 stuffed animals from the London Knights' annual Teddy Bear Toss.
For children who have outgrown fluffy friends, bikes donated by Waste Connections of Canada are also available for pickup.
We ended up getting about 100 bikes, roughly $12,000 we collected throughout the year.
Hundreds of volunteers dedicate their time to ensure everything runs smoothly on distribution days.
It's just such a blessing to be able to serve people, those who are maybe less fortunate.
One volunteer traveled all the way from South Africa to spend the holidays with her son.
The weather's quite different from South Africa.
She says the opportunity to give back during her visit is an extra bonus.
All I can do is bring them to the Lord, and give them a hug and a cuddle and mean what I say when I say I'm going to be praying for them.
The final day to donate gifts is next weekend at various drop-off locations across the city.
You see your kids have opening presents, and your worst day will become the happiest day you could ever have.
Lauren Stallone, CTV News.
When we come back, homicide in Hollywood. Renowned director Rob Reiner and his wife fatally stabbed. Police say their son is responsible. Plus, snowmobile season arriving early. How the local trails are shaping up thanks to plenty of December snow.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We begin tonight with Ontario's latest.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. CTVLondon.ca, your home for news.
It's time to build a toy mountain. Make this holiday season merry for so many kids.
Bring new unwrapped toys to CF Masonville Place.
All in support of the Salvation Army. We will be collecting donations November 21st to December 24th.
With all donations helping families right here in our community. Toy Mountain, supported by Gomez Appliances, London Bass Center, and UBC Built Local 1946.
Let's make this the best toy mountain ever. Visit ctvlondon.ca for more ways to donate.
Los Angeles police say they've taken Rob Reiner's son into custody, suspected of murdering his parents yesterday. Reiner and his wife were found dead in their home yesterday, fatally stabbed. With the latest on the investigation, here's Andrea Case.
You are a meathead.
From a career started in front of the camera, Rob Reiner went on to be one of the most successful filmmakers of all time. The man behind so many iconic films lived in the quiet, upscale Los Angeles neighborhood of Brentwood. That quiet was shattered on Sunday afternoon when emergency crews responded to a 911 call after 3:30. At the home, they discovered two bodies, a man and a woman, and it was quickly ruled a homicide. Search warrants were issued, and a coroner identified the deceased as Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle Singer Reiner. The couple's bodies were discovered by their 28-year-old daughter, Romy. 6 hours later, a shocking arrest was made.
We're able to take into custody Nick Reiner, a suspect in this case.
Hi, I'm Marty DeBerge.
78-year-old Reiner was an award-winning writer, director, and actor. He was known for directing iconic films, including This is Spinal Tap, The Princess Bride, and A Few Good Men.
You can't handle the truth!
What you really take away from his movies is a generosity, right, where it's not about his style, it's about serving the work, and it's about giving room to actors.
The Reiners have been married since 1989. Ironically, it was on the set of a romantic comedy they met.
When he went into make When Harry Met Sally, he met Michelle Singer, fell in love, and changed the ending of the movie to a happy ending.
A decade ago, Nick Reiner co-wrote a semi-autobiographical film called Being Charlie, about a young drug addict who works his way to sobriety. It was directed by his dad, Rob. The two attended its premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival. At the time, Rob Reiner said of rehab programs, it works for some, but it can't work for everybody. I'm Andrea Case for CTV News.
More on our top story now. The mass shooting in Australia. Government leaders there are promising to overhaul gun laws in the face of criticism for their handling of simmering hateful sentiments. With more, here's Judy Trin.
Grief uniting hundreds of mourners 24 hours after a mass shooting on Bondi Beach. Violence that turned the celebration of Hanukkah into carnage.
Hundreds of people running and screaming off the beach. So I turned around and we just started running back as quick as we could back to our hostel.
At least 15 people were killed, dozens were wounded. The victims range in age from 10 to 87 years old. Among those killed, the rabbi leading the celebration, Eli Schlanger, who had relatives in Toronto.
He was just full of life, positivity. It was his mission to bring the light of Judaism into the world.
Authorities call the attack terrorism and anti-Semitic.
The offenders are a 50-year-old and 24-year-old male who are father and son.
Police aren't releasing the suspect names, but Australian media are identifying them as Sajid Akram and Naveed Akram. The father was shot by police and had immigrated in 1988 as a student. His son Naveed was born in Australia.
He was examined on the basis of being associated with others, and the assessment was made that there was no indication of any ongoing threat.
38 other people remain in hospital, but the death toll could have been much greater if not for a bystander. Ahmed Al-Ahmed, a local fruit vendor from Syria, tackled the older suspect and was also shot multiple times. 2 decades ago, Ottawa Rabbi Chaim Mendelson participated in the Hanukkah ceremony on Bondi Beach. He calls Ahmed a hero.
He is literally the light in the darkness. He is the silver lining of this story. He is the reminder that there is a safe future for all of mankind to live together.
In the aftermath of this attack, Australia's leaders are promising to tighten already tough gun laws, including putting limits on the number of guns a person can own, as well as reviewing licenses. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Local snowmobiling organizers say they're looking forward to a banner year on the trails thanks to Mother Nature and a multi-million-dollar investment from the provincial government. And as Scott Miller reports, without that cash injection, the season might have been in serious jeopardy.
As the snow falls, snowmobilers rejoice over the potential bumper season potentially ahead.
It's certainly trending that way. We like cold, we like snow, and we're getting lots of that in the early season.
But up until 2 weeks ago, at least some of the 30,000 kilometers of snowmobile trails in Ontario were going to have to be closed this winter.
We had pegged about 4,500 kilometers of trail across Ontario to close for this upcoming season. Obviously, with the intention of looking at ways to bring it back in future years.
That was until the Ministry of Transportation came through with a $3.9 million check to help balance the books for the Ontario Federation of Snowmobile Clubs, who say revenues from trail permits have not been meeting the rising cost of trail maintenance.
The things that we consume, fuel, steel, lumber, all of those things have gone up over the years, and it's caught up with us. And in order to maintain a 30,000 plus kilometer network that reaches all corners of this vast province, we needed to make some changes, and we needed to have this critical investment from our partners at the Ministry of Transportation of Ontario.
Despite a bumper snowmobile season last year, more and more snowmobilers are buying multi-day passes, not year-round passes, which has impacted snowmobile clubs' ability to maintain trails across Ontario, says Ike Meyer.
Costs during the COVID years went through the roof. And now we have seen those permit sales come back down to earth and actually regress a bit while costs have continued to rise. So all of this was an effort to try to balance the budget, ensure that we are putting the proper maintenance, the proper funding into the trails that we have.
The provincial cash means it's full steam ahead for this snowmobile season in Ontario as trails slowly open across the province.
When we look outside today and we see the snow falling again, this could be a season for the ages, one where we have excellent trail availability from December all the way through to April. It's certainly shaping up that way.
In Midwestern Ontario, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Back with Julie Atchison now, and whether it's snowmobiling, last week we were talking about the outdoor rinks. I'm sure Bowler Mountain is loving all this snow that we've been seeing. It could be a very good year for people who like being outdoors this winter.
Yeah, in terms of an early snowfall and lots of it, we've had the cold temperatures. This week, though, is going to toss a little...
You were mentioning rain earlier.
Yeah, we have rain in the forecast.
That's a change. Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely this is going to be an interesting week weather-wise, but it's cold tonight, and the Middlesex London, health unit has issued an extreme cold weather alert. Now, it's issued when a low temperature of -15 or lower, or a wind chill of -20 or lower. And tonight we're going to be having that. That's for sure. It'll feel close to -22. Our high today, -8. Our low, -13. A normal high for this time of year around +1. So, yes, our daytime high is colder than our normal overnight low. We still have lots of snow coming off Georgian Bay tonight, but the rest of southern Ontario is on the calmer side. Still some flurries in through Grey and Bruce County, but conditions will continue to just stabilize overnight. We'll hold on to some cloud cover, but high pressure in play. We just have all this cold air that continues to generate the off-lake snow. Now, the forecast overnight lows, -14 in London, -12 to -17 through Mount Forest, KW. A little bit milder along the lake shore, but any way you look at it, it will be a cold one. Now, we have some sunshine in the forecast tomorrow. You can see the flurries, still a little bit of off-lake snow in the Bruce, you can see northern Bruce County just moving through, but that should weaken significantly as the winds ease off overnight. And then tomorrow morning, we'll start the day with a bit of cloud cover, but quickly seeing a nice mix of sun and cloud. Now, Tuesday evening, we could see some mixed precipitation towards the Bruce Peninsula. Forecast model indicating a weak little front coming in. This is in advance of our system on Thursday, and that's when we're going to see the rain. So Wednesday evening, this forecast model also indicating the chance for a bit of mixed precipitation. So as you can see in London, this is showing some light freezing, and then north some snowfall. So Wednesday into Thursday will be the next weather maker. Now, where they're experiencing some nice warmth is Western Canada. Temperatures still holding in the double digits, breaking some records in through southern BC yesterday, and that warmth holding today. Then we get on the flip side of that, where all the cold air resides. Some of this warm air even sinking its way towards, or rather seeping its way into southern Saskatchewan. We get into Manitoba, where it's -10, northern Ontario to -11, and some rain and some snow moving through parts of the east coast tonight as well. Your forecast for tomorrow, high pressure brings us some sunshine. It'll be very cold first thing in the morning, by lunchtime at -9, and -2. That is a bit better. Winds easing off as well as we head into the afternoon. We will see that breeze uptick a bit mid-afternoon. Over the next 7 days, temperatures are going to take a major ride. So tomorrow will be our creep creep up to the -2, and then we'll hit 2 degrees on Wednesday, increasing cloud cover. Wednesday, there's about a 30% chance of a bit of mixed precipitation as the temperatures start to come up. Wet and windy Thursday, rain in the forecast and extremely mild. It's not going to take care of all of the snow out there for sure. We have a lot of it. However, we'll see some of those snowbanks starting to shrink. We're down to -5 with flurries in the forecast on Friday, and then Saturday the possibility of a rain-snow mix. Now the flurries coming in on Friday will be that blast of cold air that follows this system, and then temperatures hovering 0 to -2 as we push through Sunday and Monday. Now Midwestern Ontario, your forecast tomorrow, -2. Starting the day with some cloud cover, but bringing in a nice mix in the afternoon. And then heading into the evening, we could see some nighttime flurries. And then Wednesday, your probability is a bit higher of a rain-snow mix. We'll take the high to +1. And then Thursdays are wet, windy, rainy, milder day. So a normal daytime high for this time of year, remember, is around 0 to +1. Daytime highs coming in well above as we head into Thursday. Friday, the cold blast comes in. That will lead to lake effect snow in through here on Perth, Grey and Bruce County. So once again, we'll have a rough day on the roads as we head into the weekend. I know many of you making plans perhaps to travel and do some celebrating ahead of the holidays. This weekend, the active weather will be on Saturday, although it's just a 40% chance. It'll be Friday will be the day with the snow squalls, and things quiet down as we head into Sunday. The high -2 and back to -3 on Monday under a mix of sun and clouds. So this is going to be an interesting week. I do suspect, Carlyle, that the forecast will change a bit on Wednesday in London, with the forecast model showing a bit of freezing coming in as the system arrives. But the main rain will push through on Thursday with some gusty winds and milder temperatures.
Big change for sure. Thanks very much, Julie. When we come back, inflation stabilization. Little in the way of affordability relief, but runaway cost increases have at least waned.
Do you have any of those pesky, annoying parking tickets that you wish would just go away? Well, tomorrow morning, find out how you can make that happen. Plus, Tim Hicks just announced a brand new tour. Of course, he's coming to London next June. We've got your chance to win your way in at 7:10 tomorrow morning. Good luck.
Inflation held steady in November, climbing at the same rate as October, according to the latest Stats Canada data. However, as Colton Prale reports, that number doesn't tell the whole story when it comes to Canadian affordability.
Today's data paints a pair of contrasting pictures. A national economy showing signs of improvement, but one where Canadians seeing their monthly and weekly bills climb even higher. At a headline 2.2% increase, inflation in November was on par with October. But core metrics closely monitored by the Bank of Canada dropped below 3% for the first time since March, a sign its fiscal policy is working. But ask Canadians how they feel about the economy, and it's a very different picture.
It's the prices that we're interacting with every day that show prices have increased way more than our wages. And so you have that sticker shock value when you're at the grocery store, when you get your cell phone bill every month.
Prices for fresh or frozen beef are up nearly 18% year over year. Coffee is almost 28% more expensive. And this month, higher prices for fresh fruit, berries, sugars, and confectionery mean grocery prices are 4.7% higher year over year, the biggest jump in 2 years. Canadians are also paying more for their cell service, which climbed nearly 13% this year. According to Thiessen, part of the reason Canadians are feeling the impacts of inflation more is that in the last 4 years, food prices are up roughly 30%, while wages climbed only 20%. Colton Prale, CTV News, Ottawa.
The provincial government is launching a new tourism strategy trying to attract more international visitors to the Niagara region.
Niagara has the potential to be a true tourism powerhouse and a world-class destination that drives Ontario's economy and keep tens of thousands of Ontario workers on the job. And we're doing everything we can to unlock that potential. With tariffs and economic uncertainty taking direct aim at our economy, targeting Ontario workers and businesses is more important than ever that we support new opportunities for workers and attract new jobs and investments.
Government officials say they're going to spend billions of dollars on the strategy, hoping they can double Niagara's tourism impact. They say the region currently generates about $3 billion for Ontario's GDP each year. Officials say the provincial dollars will support tourism, the arts, and transit infrastructure. Canada's main stock index edged lower as the price of oil fell. The TSX lost 44 points. In New York, the Dow fell 41. The Nasdaq dropped 138. The Canadian dollar technically down, losing just 1/100 of a cent. On commodity markets, gold gained almost $7 an ounce and oil lost 62 cents a barrel. Still ahead, elite skaters hitting the London ice. Details on the provincial competition and what they were racing for.
On the next episode of the Backroads podcast, we sit down with Patrick Armstrong, the Huron County-based co-founder of Huron Area Search and Rescue and the Dave Mounsey Memorial Fund.
Backroads with Scott Miller, available at iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back. Users are reporting ongoing issues with an online portal for collecting taxes on imported goods more than a year after it was rolled out. The CBSA Assessment Revenue Management System is supposed to streamline a paper-based process which customs officials had relied on for decades. The new platform cost $700 million, and since it came online in 2024, users have complained about glitches and outages as well as support delays. According to CBSA officials, they're trying to find ways to maintain system reliability, but have provided no timeline for that. Ottawa public health officials say 3 children have died from flu-related complications this month. They say the kids were between 5 and 9 years old, each dying from influenza A complications. They're also strongly recommending everyone older than 6 months get a flu vaccine as soon as possible. Officials at Ottawa's Children's Hospital are reporting higher than usual flu cases and complications this month. London hosted some of the best speed skaters in the province this weekend, an elite-level event qualifying for next year's Ontario Winter Games. With more on the competition, here's Brent Lale.
It's the fastest skaters in the province.
Best of the best in Ontario.
It's definitely competitive today. There's a guy on the national team, he's really quick, man.
They were all competing in an elite 2-day event hosted by the London Speed Skating Club.
It's like high intensity. I'm adrenaline, so it's just really fun and exciting to race other people, especially faster.
Among those racing was Adam Law, a member of Team Canada's Next Gen squad who finished 9th in the Olympic trials. Law is from Mississauga and now trains in Montreal.
I just wanted to come back, help give back to the community that helps raise me. Started young at like 12 years old, so just coming here and hoping to inspire the next generation of skaters.
The stop on the circuit also had a masters category. Ed Vandenduel of London is a 68-year-old who can still fly.
The London Club is always looking for new skaters. We've got 20 or 30 skaters now, but for people that don't want to do hockey, this is a fabulous sport. It's great social time. I always say I've never met a speed skater I didn't like.
Speed skating always gains more exposure during an Olympic year. In London, it's not only inclusive, but challenging.
We are welcoming new people who want to do a Learn to Speed Skate in January, and anybody aged 5 and up is welcome to come. So people are used to seeing speed skating at the Olympics, and that's what they think speed skating looks like. I coach ages 5 to 12, and we can start when we're little. That's where it's best to start, actually, and it doesn't look like it does on TV, but we'll get them there.
Brent Lale, CTV News.
Tomorrow on CTV News, finalizing the budget for London's Catholic School Board, the potential cuts as trustees reckon with millions of dollars in shortfalls. Tomorrow on CTV News at 6.
A beautiful sunrise to share with you this evening. Thank you so much, Sophie. Our weather photo of the day brought to you by Auburn Group's Magic of Lights. And Magic of Lights is on until January 4th. We have some sunshine in the forecast Tuesday, and temperatures are set to rebound. Rain and gusty winds arrive Thursday.
Officials in Rhode Island have released an image of a person of interest following a mass shooting at Brown University this weekend.
There was some degree of evidence that pointed to this individual, but that evidence needed to be corroborated and confirmed. And over the last 24 hours, leading into just very, very recently, that evidence now points in a different direction. So what that means is that this person of interest needs to be and should be released.
2 people were killed, 9 others wounded. Officials say they're looking for a single shooter who opened fire at the university's campus in Providence. All classes and exams have been canceled at the Ivy League school. The Business Cares food drive is into the home stretch, wrapping up this Friday.
What you see is more than awesome behind us, and a lot of people have already given, and we thank them for that. And but what I'm asking today is for people that can give and want to give, we'd gladly accept it, but only if you can.
Organizers say they've packed the Western Fair Agriplex, but they say the need for support still exceeds what they've brought in. However, they are calling the recent grocery store drive a success.
Our visual and actual food count is wonderful. We had 2 days, and quite honestly, we would have been down a little bit had we not had extra stores that we put on. We added 5 new stores this year, and with those 5, gave us about a 1% over where we were last year. So we notice giving across the board is maybe a little lighter, but other people are picking up, and that's what we need a final push with.
An Indigenous culture showcase this past weekend in Ottawa at the National Arts Centre. With more on the craftsmanship on display, here's Cammy Wilson.
Showcasing talented work from Métis, Inuit, and First Nations women artists.
There is a lot of authenticity, there's a lot of beauty and creativity with these people.
The 8th annual Indigenous Women's Art Market with more than 50 local vendors at the National Arts Centre.
I carve antler makeup brushes and as well as jewelry. I source my antler from Indigenous hunters across Canada, and I take the deer antler and cut it down from the whole rack.
Paintings, crafts, mittens, moccasins, and more. Jenny Lee Nottaway says she started beading at a young age.
My materials that I use, it's moose hide, so it's part of our culture to harvest as much as we can from the animal.
Divya Kamalakanan says she loves to support and learn about the Indigenous culture.
I'm a person who likes to know the history behind stuff. I'm meaningful, I'm intentional. I don't just buy things from big box stores, and I want to support the local economy. And I think these people here have really worked hard.
The event is part of the NAC's Indigenous Theatre programming.
It's really important for us to be able to engage with the community, to support artists, local artists, and Indigenous women specifically. And it's an awesome opportunity to see what people are creating in the community.
Through each art piece is an Indigenous story told, traditions passed down.
It's very empowering. It gives us the chance to show off our creations. I started learning at a very young age from my grandmother. I started with the offered beads, and then I went on to more difficult tasks. I learned a lot from my mom and my aunt and all the women in my community.
And Kamala Kanan proudly showcasing her new finds.
These are fringe beaded earrings. She sold me these earrings yesterday at the craft market. I was here yesterday supporting the artisans.
Camille Wilson, CTV News.
Finally tonight, the volunteers at Point Pelee National Park taking part in the 73rd annual Christmas bird count. Scientists have relied on the tradition for decades, tracking bird populations. And with more on the event's significance, here's Chris Campbell.
From sunrise to late afternoon, volunteers crisscrossed Point Pelee National Park, binoculars in hand, counting every bird they could identify.
All you have to do is kind of keep an eye out.
The event is part of the longest-running citizen science program in North America, with data from Point Pelee contributing to a continent-wide snapshot of bird populations.
We saw some eastern bluebirds, we saw a bunch of waterfowl, so many of them actually far out. They kind of look like an insect swarm with how many of them are coming off the water.
We've got some ducks and eastern bluebird
and a red-tailed hawk.
The Christmas bird count began in 1900 and each year provides researchers with critical long-term data on bird populations and migration patterns.
I think it's great. That's why I'm here.
It's really important because this is the largest citizen science push in North America.
Organizers say Point Pelee plays an important role because of its location along 3 major migratory routes, making it a hotspot for both resident and visiting species.
We want to know what's in the park. We want to know how many there are, possibly. And that data can be used for all sorts of different things after the fact.
By late morning, birders had more than 24 species recorded, with hopes of seeing 100 by the end of the day. Volunteers spotting everything from waterfowl to songbirds, despite winter conditions.
There aren't very many birders, or birds for that matter, near the top of the lookout tower here, the new observation deck at Point Pelee National Park. It's a little windy, a little cold, but hey, the Christmas bird count is going. There's a few seagulls if that's your sort of thing, but other than that, it's better probably to stay down on the ground.
It's a lot better than in summer because there's no leaves, so you have better sight lines.
While the work requires cold hours outdoors, participants say it's also about learning, connection, and conservation.
Not a lot of people go out in the middle of winter to count birds, so it's important to know what's here now when there's not as many birders out to be able to use those apps and use the information for recording that.
The information collected here will be added to a national database used by scientists and conservation groups to monitor long-term trends in bird populations. At Point Pelee National Park near Leamington, Chris Campbell, CTV News.
That's it for us. Thanks for watching. For your latest local headlines, you can always head to our website. I'm back tonight with your late news after Monday Night Football. Bye for now.